So we're at Leon Trotsky's residence in Mexico City. This is where Trotsky would, in his final days, having been helped bring the Soviet Revolution to success, had basically gone into exile in Mexico, where eventually he would be hunted down by Stalin's KGB agents, and we won't show you the toilets because that's not really that great historical reference. But so that basically the idea was that by 1940, what you had is that by 1940, this is all of the original Politburo, and the only person who remains by 1940 is actually Stalin. Now, it's quite an incredible situation because the assassin had his work cut out, because this really is a fully fledged fortress. It's a stone building, you can't burn it down. You can see up there, there's turrets there. I'm not sure, I think that's probably come later on. And this is the house which will take you into a second. Big gated steel gates. Another guard there. And he had a lot of guards, and I think the guards actually shot the assassin. In the museum display, you see the actual bullets. So you walk through. This is basically designed as a safe room. G'day again. And said he could come in here and lock himself, shut those doors, shut those windows. But unfortunately, it didn't prevail. And this is his study, where he used to basically do all his work in his final resting place. And then finally, I've got that wrong. That was his workroom. This is the study and resting place in his library, where unfortunately all that security didn't stop Trotsky from having a picnic, as in a pick in the back of the head. So what I often wonder about, which, again, I hear people sort of going on about socialism and communism, rah, rah, and this has become a bad word. And again, in the New Zealand freedom movement, we're falling into the same trap where, like in the United States, everyone's against Republicans and the right wing, but nobody wants to talk about the opposite of right wing is socialism. But nobody in the left in America wants to talk about socialism, and because they all equate it with communism, because that's the great propaganda work that's been occurred. When the reality is, Trotsky had a completely different vision from Stalin. And when you read, for example, Translating History by Gorbachev's translator, don't ask me to pronounce his last name, he points out that even Gorbachev admits that what had occurred in the Soviet Union, the USSR, wasn't socialism. And, it was a case where socialism, will call the creation of a Politburo, where people got to control the so-called socialist movement, basically just turned it into another form of fascism. So it wasn't really different from what Adolf Hitler came up with. And of course, Hitler and Stalin were for a moment actual allies, which people often forget about. But look, I got to run away because we've got a few other places to see. But here is Leon Trotsky's last stand.